Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I hope you people are doing very well. Today we are going to start the next chapter, that is about cells and specialized cells. In this chapter, what we people will do that first of all, we are going to introduce cells to ourselves, and then we will discuss some specialized cells as well according to their functions. So first of all, what is a cell? Cell is the basic unit of life. It is the smallest part of a living thing which is capable of carrying out basic life processes. It means that cell is actually the building block of your life. Without cell, the life will not exist. So it is the smallest part as well, and it is capable. It is having the ability to do the processes like breathing, digestion, and all the life processes that are necessary to survive. It can all be done by a cell. Then a picture of a random cell is shown to you people. Next slide is about the history of cells, that how the cells was first discovered. So more than 300 years ago, a scientist, Robert Hooke, used a microscope to observe the thin slices of cork. He found that the cork was made by tiny boxes which he called as cells. Means he has observed the tiny boxes, the tiny compartment, the tiny separate you can say the blocks where he has observed, and he has called them cells at that time. So cell he has discovered by his own microscope, that is called as Hooke's microscope as well. And you can see in the picture as well that it is a very simple microscope, and the specialty of this microscope is that it can enlarge the image about 250 times. So it was a big achievement at that time that Robert Hooke was done. So Robert Hooke has first discovered the cells and call them as cells. Next is the type of organisms on the basis of cells. On the basis of cells, on the number of cells, the organisms are divided into two types, that is unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. Unicellular, the word uni means one and cellular means related to cell. So they are made up of one cell. They are made up of just one cell. And at the in the comparison, multicellular organisms are made up of more than one cells. Mean they are having 2, 3, 4, 5 and 100 and billion cell, but they are having more than one. Unicellular, all functions are performed by that one cell, means the entire function of the life will be performed by that one cell. And examples are yeast, alga, paramecium, amoeba, and they all are unicellular organisms, so that's why they can be only visible to you people by the help of microscope. Next one is multicellular organisms, and in multicellular organisms every cell will perform its different specialized functions. Means every cell here is there to perform a separate function that is their specialty. For example, human, sunflower, elephant, mouse, rose, cat, dog, and many more are the example of multicellular organisms. And in the next unicellular organism, you can see the pictures as well of paramecium, amoeba, bacteria, yeast. They are all are unicellular organism made up of just one cell, and all the life processes are done by these one cell. So they like breathing, digestion, respiration, excretion, everything will be done by just one cell. And in multicellular organisms like insects, human bodies, plants bodies, they are having the multicellular organisms, so they are having many cells and every cell is specialized in their own function. Cleared? And here there are two types of cells. First we have discussed about the type of organisms, and now there are two types of cell: plant cells present in plants and animal cell present in animals. Here a picture of plant cell has shown, in which you can clearly see that how the plant cell is like that, and what are the organelles that are present in it. You can see the nucleus, you can see the chloroplast, cytoplasm, mitochondria, cell wall, cell membrane, and the most important thing that is just present in plant cell is its chloroplast, that is having green pigment chlorophyll in it, which traps the sunlight to do the process of photosynthesis. And in animal cell they don't have chlorophyll, that's why they are not green in color. Next you can see the picture of an animal cell. Mitochondria has shown, which is actually the powerhouse of a cell. Vacuole, cytoplasm, lysosomes, nucleus, they all are there. So I have just shown you the pictures of the animal cell and plant cell, because our topic is about specialized cells. So I just want to tell you that which kind of two cells are there. Next is our topic, that is specialized cells, means the cell that are special to perform, that are expert to perform a specific function that are assigned to them, and they are actually present in multicellular organism, because in unicellular organism just one cell is there and that one cell will perform all the functions, but in multicellular organism there are separate cells to perform different functions. Number one cell is here nerve cell. The function of nerve cell is that it receives or carries messages, that it will receive the messages from your body and carry the messages from brain to all over your body. That's why it is having a different structure according to its different function. So a nerve cell has many branched endings which receive messages in the form of electrical signals. It has a long fiber to pass messages to other nerve cells. You can see that it is having a long fiber that will be connected to other neuron or other nerve cell, and then they are interconnected with each other to transfer messages. Then the next type is red blood cells. Red blood cells, the function of red blood cell is that it carries oxygen around the body, that they will transport oxygen throughout your body. And if we come towards the structure, so I have told you that every cell is having a different structure according to its function. So its function is different than nerve cell, so its structure will also different. So in structure you can see that a red blood contains a red pigment called hemoglobin, which enables it to transport oxygen. It is circular in shape and flattened in the middle, giving it a large surface area. This allows it to take up oxygen quickly. Now it is circular, but it is flattened in the mid because it has to take the oxygen. So if it is flattened, its surface area will be increased, and if its surface area will be increased, then it has a capacity to trap more oxygen in it, and it will transfer more oxygen throughout your body. So that's the reason that it has to take the oxygen. So just to increase its surface area, it will have a flattened structure from the mid. The next cell is sperm cell, and its function is to move from one place to another. Structure: a sperm cell has a long tail which enables it to swim towards an egg. Like, the function of sperm cell is to swim towards an egg to fertilize it. Fertilize it means to make it able to work. Fine. It will fertilize the egg, and then the egg will be able to perform its function. So in sperm cell, and one more thing that I want to tell you over here, that sperm cell is the smallest cell of your body and egg cell is the largest cell of your body according to the size. Fine. These three cells were animal cells. Next we are having the three examples from plant cells. Palisade cell, that is present in plants. So the function of palisade cell is that it absorbs as much light as possible. Fine. You can see the diagram as well. Its diagram is resembling with the plant cell there, but it's okay because it is also a type of plant cell, so it will definitely resembles to that. So in structure, a palisade cell is a cylindrical shaped cell usually found near the upper surface of a leaf. It contains many chloroplasts which contain chlorophyll. These features allow the palisade cell to absorb sunlight to do the process of photosynthesis. That it is having chloroplasts which help him to do the process of photosynthesis. Fine. The next one is plant guard cells, mean they are the guards of cell. They are the guards of plant cell that will allow something to pass inside or outside of the cell. You can see as well that it control the size of stomatal openings, they will control the stomatal openings. In daytime, when the guard cells are swollen, the stomata will be open and the gaseous exchange will happen. But at the night, when no photosynthesis is there, so guard cell will be shrunk at that time and stomata will be closed. So stomata are actually there to open or close the stomatal openings. Structure: The plant guard cells occur in pairs and are usually found on the underside of a leaf. Each pair of guard cell is shaped so that there is a tiny opening called a stoma. Between them, to close the stoma, the guard cells change their shapes. A root hair cell. A root hair cell's function of a root hair cell is present. Root hair cell is present in roots of a plant, and the function of root hair cell is that it absorbs water and mineral salts. Structure. A root hair cell of a plant has a long and narrow protrusion which increases its surface area and allows it to absorb water and mineral salts quickly. So now you people have seen that every cell is having a different shape, having a different structure according to the work they have to perform. So it is not necessary that always the plant cell or animal cell are similar that I have shown you in the start. They are changing their shapes according to the work that have assigned to them. Fine. And every cell is performing different function, so it is also called as division of labor. Division of labor means that every cell in multicellular organisms will perform its specific and different function. That's why it is having different structures. So it is the process of division of labor. So for today's topic, that's all from my side. Thank you. Take care.